Hey there people, how's it going? This is Cross the Rubicon channel. I watched a video today and it was of Tucker Carlson. The vast majority of you will know who Tucker Carlson is. Fox News. I think he's the best anchor in the world, me personally. And he was talking about what the Democrats have done to the United States. And it is the Democrats. Socialists, and the division they're causing in the United States, every state. Tucker, I'll leave a link below so you can take a look yourself. It's only about 5 hours old, the video, but he talks about the protests and looting in Chicago and LA and New York, other cities in the United States, that it seems the Democrats refuse to condemn because, well, since the Black Lives Matter protests a few years ago, the Democrats seem to be encouraging this kind of behaviour in certain communities, and they just refuse to condemn it. And even the city mayors, especially of Chicago, they've got a new mayor now, and he basically says that the kids, it's got to be said, black kids are starving and they need food. This is America. This is Chicago and LA. They weren't looting for food. They're looting for beer and cigarettes and all kinds of electrical goods and stealing vehicles and just causing chaos, basically. But it's condoned not only by Democrats, but the Democrat owned and conspired with media in the United States. And the United States, it's like the United States is leading the way on all this kind of behaviour, the United States Democrats. And unfortunately, governments and oppositions, but especially on the socialist side of the political fence across the world, and even here in New Zealand, are doing exactly the same thing. I made a video just the other day of p.ed.s, where she made a poem, wrote a poem, and they've even made a play about it, and it's crap, and it is rubbish. It's absolute verbal diarrhea. But the same kind of behaviour again by the media is because of her ethnicity, and she's brown. They refuse to condemn her, and yet if it was a white person saying exactly the same thing, they'd be destroyed. It's a real problem. And because the Democrats, Labour, in most other countries, it's them that's driving this. And like I've said before, it's being driven by somebody else from outside to sow absolute chaos. Absolute chaos in Western nations. The Democrats must know. Labour in New Zealand must know. But yet even opposition parties, rhinos in the United States, Republicans in name only, and even National Party here in New Zealand, hardly any of them condemned p.ed.s because they're scared to. They didn't really condemn what happened to Posey Parker and these men or women with penises and frocks attacked a woman protesting for women's rights, and they wouldn't condemn that. They have moved into an age of insanity, stupidity and cowardice by our leaders and our media. It's like, I don't know, it's like they've all gone mad. They've all gone mad. The world's gone mad. And but they can't be. They can't. Surely they can't be stupid enough to believe it. They must know there's an agenda. They must know that. I'm sure in New Zealand anyway, Kate Hanna, Nadine Porter, Paddy Golden Shower Gower, Hilary Barry, Jack Tang, John Campbell. I'm trying to think of names now. I'm sure they're not that stupid. But you know, these people repeat the same old trope. Garbage, if you like. Every night. I was going to make a video yesterday of Good Morning TV, I think it is, in New Zealand. I don't watch it, it's crap. I don't watch any New Zealand telly. But I just get it sent to me on a YouTube video. And it was a morning TV presenter yesterday in New Zealand. That was, Tuesday. Where she had this, what was it? A drag king on their program. And this honestly, it just makes you wonder. This bloke. He looks like a woman. He sounds like a woman, but it's a man. On morning TV, and it's just, I don't know. The world's gone potty, isn't it? The world's gone potty. But we can't condemn it in New Zealand. We're not even allowed to condemn it. We're not even allowed to have an opposing opinion on it. Because then they call us names and they come after us and destroy us. So what do the journalists, what do the interviewers really think of the person sitting across from them? What do they really think? Or are they just told to act in a certain way and they have to push a certain agenda? If they are, which I believe they are, then they cease to be journalists. They cease to be searching for the truth. And they are just propagandists pushing a government and possibly globalist narrative to cause absolute dissent and trouble, basically. It's like a cancer. It really is like cancer. And to be a lone voice, I mean, there's many people like me making videos here in New Zealand. Terry O'Pines, Carol Saki, Carl Bromley, Vinnie Eastwood, many others making videos telling the truth of what's happening. But yet the media calls conspiracy theorists and far right. The same old line. And worse. But they're doing the same in every single nation. They're using the same lines, the same insults to besmirch and destroy our characters. I don't know, I just think these journalists that do that, I don't know, I think they're insane. I really do think they're insane. There must be a code of ethics in journalism, but the code of ethics now must be do as the government tell you to do, write what the government tell you to write, attack who the government tell you to attack. That must be the code of ethics now. It's not hunting for truth. You know, I'm telling the true story of something. I'll look at, I don't know, be balanced. Because there is no balance anymore. Because what was weird, what was even taboo 10, 20 years ago, is now not only celebrated, but it's to be promoted. Well, it is being promoted by the media, but if we don't promote it, then we get destroyed. And the media have convinced, this is everywhere. This is not just here in New Zealand. This is everywhere. New Zealand, Australia, Canada, the United States, Britain, whole of Western Europe. The populace is being convinced to believe what was once taboo is now to be promoted, and opinions that were against certain things are now to be condemned. I honestly believe that in the very near future, paedophilia is going to be absolutely normalised by politicians and the media. I told you, most of you know, I was a prison officer for 11 years, and seven something years of that I spent in a child sex offenders unit in Rolleston Prison, just outside Christchurch. How long is it going to be before they're celebrated? How long is it going to be before what these men did in their lives becomes a non-crime? How long is it going to be? Won't be long. Paedophiles, you're not even allowed to call them paedophiles anymore. Minor attracted people now. So they're changing the language. So you can't condemn them. Minor attracted people. Well, isn't it easy to just say paedophiles? It's honestly, still the vast majority here in New Zealand and everywhere else I've mentioned, they fundamentally believe that the media will not lie to them. They fundamentally believe that their prime ministers and presidents and politicians, their MPs, they will not lie to them. They are all on board. They're all told the narrative, and they have to say this, or else they will not get to any position of power. And this has got to come down to the WEF. It's got to come down to them. The WEF control the world. There's no doubt about it. I believe the WEF puts people in power. If you're on board with them, if you join their, I don't know, whatever group it is, I don't even know what they call it, World Economic Forum, something, I don't know, Future Leaders Programme, like Jacinda Ardern and Justin Trudeau and many others were part of, you will become the Prime Minister of your nation one day, or some CEO of some multi-billion-dollar corporation, if you join the WEF corporation. But if you don't, they will destroy you. If you're against them, then you're not going to have a very, very, very successful and affluent career, setting up your family for generations. So these people have literally sold their souls to become part of the Klaus Schwab WEF. sold their souls to the devil. I don't want to sound all holier than thou, but satanic inversion, that's what this is. What was once good is now bad, and what was once bad is now good. And the media are fully on board. They're fully on board, and they're coming hunting for people like myself and many others, big tech companies. And they're shutting us down, they're censoring us, and they are making us the enemies of the state. They're making us the enemies. I was going to say that, should I say that? There's people I know who have recently found out, they didn't know who I was or things that I said, what I was involved with, but they've recently found out by doing their research or getting someone else to do their research. And you know, you put my name in anyone, put my name in Google, and it comes up far right white supremacist and all these terrible things that I'm allegedly guilty of. Thank you very much to the New Zealand media and politicians. Am I guilty of it? It's arguably guilty that I did say certain things. But were they a crime? Did the punishment of me fit the crime I committed? Was it a crime? It wasn't a crime. No, it was not. It wasn't a crime. They committed a crime. And they commit crimes every day, the media, politicians, because they lie and lie and lie. The only decent journalist we had of recent times was Peter Williams. And it was about a year or so ago, he was made to resign because he questioned the narrative of the old that. And he gave me a shot one day, and his employers didn't like that. It wasn't long after that he was gone. Jacinda Ardern, eh? She's gone now. But wherever she goes, she's going to cause absolute destruction wherever she goes, because she's one of Klaus Schwab's proteges, and she will cause devastation. And now we've got Chris Hipkins, who can't even describe what a woman is. And many of these politicians can't even describe what a woman is, because they're not allowed to. They're not allowed to state the obvious. But anyway, I'll leave a link to the Tucker Carlson video below, and you can have a look yourself, because that's where this video started. And tell me what you think. But it's happening everywhere. Basically, the only ones that are fair game for absolute attack and destruction in the Western world are people, it seems. Yeah, it doesn't seem, I think it's just a fact. People who are white, European, and everyone else is just a victim. They can commit terrible atrocities, but they're just victims themselves. So anyway, I thought I'd leave you with that. That's straight from the heart as usual. I try not to F and blind anymore. Try and keep it nice and calm. But we have to start looking, questioning our journalists, our politicians. Politicians that are doing the rounds in New Zealand right now. You might go to an event centre, you might go to a town hall meeting, you might go to, I don't know, some club and listen to, I won't mention any names, but politicians who want your vote, just put your hand up and say, can you define a woman? Or do you think any politician that is involved with the WEF or Klaus Schwab or Bill Gates or George Soros, do you think they should be allowed to be in Parliament and have involvement in running our nation? Just ask that, see what they say. If they prevaricate, if they don't answer the question the right way, you know what they are. I guarantee they won't give you a straight answer. Guaranteed. Because nearly all of them are cowards. Nearly all of them. And they know that giving you a straight answer, yes or no, will ruin them. And they will not get anywhere. So democracy in democratic countries, that were once great democratic countries, is dead. It's been usurped by an elite group of multi-billionaire psychopaths who literally are the governors of the world. Okay, that's my video. This is Cross the Rubicon. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel and share this video everywhere. If you want to buy me a coffee, I'll leave a link below. Okay, see you later.